Well, it's the summer of 1722. So far everything's been going quite well for us. We've been able to repulse the Spanish force in Guatemala. Just having a look at our fleets. If you remember, I'd seen a Maratha fleet leaving some time before. It looked like it had an army on it. I'm guessing it might be landing in the Americas. It could be landing in Europe, of course. So we're just taking precautions. As you can see, we're on the defensive everywhere. We're building fortifications. We're using our ships to fend anybody off, including amphibious landings. Although we have become a little bit more aggressive, of course. We have taken some islands. We've taken Mexico. Not that that's an island, of course. We've taken some islands, and we've taken Mexico and Guatemala. We've even taken France now, and we're stabilising France. And we've got a force marching on Madrid. And if you remember, if you just look above there, you'll see the Spanish army heading towards what looks like it might be Paris. I think I can defend Paris against it, though. I'm pretty good at defending these fortresses. Not a massive army in here, mainly Filock infantry. It looks like we might be able to take Madrid. We've got a bit of money in the coffers as well, so we should be able to rebuild anything and replenish any ships as well while we're at it. Okay, so just do that on auto-resolve. Yeah. I've said this before, one of the advantages of an auto-resolve is that, well, obviously it's over quickly, but that he can't get away when you fight on an auto-resolve in a city. I mean, he can't either when you do a normal battle, and the main reason why I fight battles other than on an auto-resolve is so that I can mop up everybody so that nobody escapes, or very few people escape. The auto-resolves tend to let lots of his troops escape, and you can sometimes mop them up. Especially useful in a rebellion is the full battle. But on this occasion, he hasn't got a lot to fight me with. I've got to fight over walls and everything, so it'll be a very messy, long battle. I'd probably lose more men in the way that I'd assault it than the AI will take off me anyway. So there you go, spending a bit of money, repairing the necessary buildings. I get rid of the churches. It's always worth doing that, and then putting Protestant churches up there. I'm always dubious about that, because the churches give a plus to the same religion within that country, and this is 100% Catholic, so the Protestant churches are going to give pluses to the happiness of the the Catholic churches are going to give pluses to the Catholic population. I get rid of them and convert to Protestant, because that's what's going to have to happen in the long run, because I'm going to get religious unrest anyway, so I might as well bite the bullet now, convert destroy the old churches, and then next term, when they're destroyed, I'll build in their place some new churches. I'm just having a look round now to see where everything is. Also going to get a pleasure gardens, or a coaching inn, if you like. I'll destroy all these three buildings first. The university and the churches obviously go, because the university, it's always free thinking, I'm afraid. It gives minuses to the population there. In other words, they're more restless. So I'll be replacing those with a coaching inn and a couple of churches as soon as I get the opportunity. Hopefully next go, with a bit of money in the pot. Need to look at France, of course, Paris. It looks like he's getting pretty close now. If I highlight one of my troops, I can see how far away he is from me. So it looks like he's within 2 turns. Now I can recruit within 1 turn. I can replenish troops within 2. If I click the cross on these troops, it takes 2 turns for my troops to get into a decent enough state to be able to handle him. So I really need to be recruiting. And it's really foot troops that I want in order to defend walls. Bit of a debate here. I'm getting grenadiers because but I don't know, they're more advanced troops and they'll be more useful to me in the future. On walls, they're not quite so brilliant. They fight better, hand to hand, that's good. They don't seem to be able to use their grenades within buildings. I don't know why. Maybe it's because they destroy their own population. They don't even seem to be able to throw them over the walls, which I never quite understand, because if you stood on a wall and somebody throws grappling hooks up, you'd expect really they should be able to toss grenades down, but they don't seem to be able to do that. They only seem to be able to fire. But anyhow, get 1 foot regiment in there as well, a few grenadier regiments, and I should be able to defend it. Looking back now, of course, at Madrid, I'll be expecting rebellion in here. I'll tax it, force a rebellion, defeat the rebellion, and therefore increase my repression in the area, and therefore settle the population in Spain much quicker than I would do normally. usually the first turn you'll get, say, a strike or something. It's usually the second turn that you'll get a rebellion, or maybe the third, depending on how restless the population is. So it's worth, replenishing these troops now, giving them some pluses. Just figuring out now what's the best thing to do. It's working out the money, you see, and what we can spend it best on. So I also have to think about Guatemala. So I've now got a roving army, albeit reduced, in the area, a Spanish army. I'm replenishing these troops, as you can see. I need to think about perhaps recruiting some as well. Or, but what I'm going to do is go for swapping these around a bit, see if I can free up some money. Yeah. What I'm doing is I'm changing my mind about replenishing those troops, or rather recruiting to those regiments, and then just amalgamating instead to make the units bigger. I need to think about what I need in future, you see. I've now got a fortress there, and I can easily defend a fortress with firelock armed infantry and say about 4 units of infantry, especially against a ragtag army like that he's got left in there. And really need to be thinking now about what I can use to chase down that army and stop him attacking the local area. Of course, I've still got the mounted auxiliary there that I'm recruiting. Just figuring out the money, you see, working out what I can spend where and how much I can spend on the Madrid troops. I want enough, like I said, to fight the rebellion. I'd also like enough to be able to go further south. I mean, the options are open to me now. Portugal's there, and then of course we've got Tangier below. So we might be thinking about perhaps moving further south as well, opening up more trade routes, more areas that I can defend more readily as well. I'm pretty sure, I haven't checked it yet, but I'm pretty sure the Spanish have got, well, I know the Spanish have got a dockyard or a dry dock perhaps. It's certainly some kind of a shipbuilding port that will produce much better ships, because I noticed he's got some, I think he had second rates, and I'm pretty sure he didn't start the game with those. So I need to get onto that port really, and then eventually start producing some proper ships of the line that will really stand against anything. See, when you go against these bigger navies and you've got lots of small ships, you string out sort of rather awkwardly, and you've got more chance of shooting your own ships as well. What you really need is a few big ships, you know. So I need to be, I mean, really 6 to 12 maximum is the number of ships that you want to have. And of course 12 brigs is nothing like as good as 12, you know, second and third rates. So anyhow. So that's the end of the turn. That's the end of the summer 1722. We've now taken Madrid. My thoughts go now to what's going to happen in Paris, of course, with that army marching north. Have I got enough? Have I taken Madrid and lost Paris, for instance? It remains to be seen. I've speeded up these parts as usual. I'm just showing the important moves. There they go. There are the Spanish going up through the west coast of France, over the bridges. I did say I didn't think they'd reach this turn, and they haven't done. Oh, I thought they were coming to have another go at me then, those Spanish in Guatemala, but no, they're not. Just going up there to ruin the building. And that's the end of the turn. This has been Empire Total War United Provinces. It's played on hard for both battles and for campaign. I'm just having a quick look round now, just to see whatever else is around. If you remember, I'm looking out for that Maratha fleet. There was a Maratha fleet that disappeared a turn or two ago with an army on it, so I'm sort of ever watchful for that as well. Just the end of turn things, telling me who I've recruited and where. Just a confirmation, really. Okay, we'll see you on the next video.